Hey there, this is Amelia here. Welcome to Amelia's crossdressing story. Today we are going to share a story called Trip to Paris Part 11. By Teddy. For more interesting and exclusive stories, please subscribe to my channel and support me at Patreon. The three went to a small restaurant that Linda knew of, had a very nice meal, and enjoyed making small talk. Jamie noticed that Ronnie was getting a twinkle in her eye and a little smile. She looked at her, like, "What are you planning?" Her smile got even broader. "You know, Jamie," Linda said, "I've been watching you. And, for this being only your second time out, you really are comfortable when you're in femme mode. I've only caught a couple of things you did that were masculine in any way, and that was only because I was looking for them. The only thing that would really give you away, as far as I'm concerned, is your voice." "Thanks," Jamie said, "tonight was just a whim. Ronnie's been after me, for a long time, to go out again, and I finally felt that it might be fun to do. I'm fine when I'm with friends, and not a bunch of people. This restaurant is great, not too many people, and the staff seems great. And, Ronnie does have fun with me when I'm dressed at home. She really gets on me if I show one little non-feminine trait when I'm dressed. But, I'm just not comfortable in large groups. I just feel that someone will read me. The voice, I guess I'm stuck with." Good for her. You need to enjoy your feminine side. It's a gift. And, maybe not stuck. Maybe not stuck? Voice lessons. That's how I did mine. I used to be able to switch from male to female and back. But, I've been in female mode for so long that I think I'm stuck there. How long did it take you to learn to switch your voice? A little more than 6 months of hard practice. They never did make it to the movie. They talked the evening away. On the way home, Jamie asked Ronnie, "What were you thinking about during dinner?" "You got that, I've got an idea that will get Jason into trouble, look in your eyes." "And, you were quieter than usual." "Not you." "And, not in trouble." "But, we've got 2 friends that are lonely." "Oh God." Now she's trying to be a matchmaker. Luckily, they were at a red light, because that got him a hard punch in the arm. It wouldn't hurt to introduce them. Would it? I guess not. The following weekend, Ronnie had Linda and Amy over for dinner. And, it appeared that they hit it off, at least as friends. 2 weeks later, Amy was again over for supper, and was helping Ronnie prepare it, while Jason looked on. Amy said, "I think you know that Linda and I had a date the other night." "I'd heard a rumor to that effect," Ronnie said, with a little smile. "How was it?" "Very nice. And, very interesting. She took me out to dinner, and we had a nice time just sitting and chatting. She's a very nice, and a very interesting, person. And, very upfront about herself." "Oh. Yeah. She tells anyone she goes out with right up front all about herself. Did you know that she's really a guy?" Ronnie looked at Jason, then back at Amy. "Ah." Was all that Ronnie could say. "I thought so." Mad? No. I'm just glad she told me up front. "Where did you meet her?" Jason's eyes got very big when Ronnie said, "Where she works." Amy said, "But, that's a boutique that caters to cross." "No," then she looked at Jason, and finished with, "You can't be." Jason turned red, and looked at Ronnie for support. Ronnie looked at Amy, and said, "What if he is?" "Nothing. But from some of the things you've told me, I can't believe Jason's gay." Ronnie just started laughing. Both Jason and Amy just looked at her in a questioning way. Finally Ronnie said, "Gay? Are you nuts? He's not gay." "Why did you say that?" "Well, crossdressers are gay. Aren't they?" Amy. 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 "No, love. Most crossdressers are not gay. And, believe me, Jason is not gay. I couldn't ask for a better lover." "Didn't Linda tell you that she only likes girls?" "Yeah. But I thought she was an exception. A strange kind of an exception, but an exception. You need an education. But Jason dressed as a girl. Sorry. But that's got to be funny. Jason looked at Ronnie again, but this time not for support, but with anger in his eyes. Ronnie asked Jason, "Can I show her?" "I don't know if I want her seeing anything," Jason snapped back. "Honey." "Oh, go on. I'm out to the world now." Ronnie grabbed Amy's hand and almost dragged her out of the kitchen. The two girls were gone for almost an hour. Jason was sitting at the table with his arms folded when the girls returned. Amy walked up to him, put her hands on his shoulders, and said, "Jason, I'm so very sorry for what I said. Those pictures were unbelievable. And Ronnie said that you've actually gone out dressed a couple of times." "Yeah. Not funny now. Right?" Jason said. "Jason, I am so very sorry. I should have never said what I did. Ronnie really chewed me out. Please forgive me? You really did look fantastic." "Okay," he said looking at Ronnie, "but, honey, you had better lend her that book." "Book?" Amy asked. "A very good book that might open your eyes a little," Ronnie answered. "So, what's going on with you and Linda?" "I'm not sure yet. She's very nice. I just don't know if I can handle the idea of Linda presenting herself as a woman. But we're going out again. We've had some nice talks with her and think she's a very sincere person. I guess that's why Ronnie thought that the two of you might get along," Jason said. "Jason," Ronnie said. Later that evening, after Amy had left, Ronnie and Jason were cuddling on the couch, and Ronnie said, "You should have seen Amy's face when I showed her your pictures, it was priceless. The first thing she said was, 'That can't be Jason.' And then I told her about Mrs. Reynolds, she almost lost it. What she said still hurt." Ronnie swung around so that she was straddling his lap, looking at him face to face, and said, "Honey, I know it did. She wasn't thinking, and I really told her that she hurt you. We had a talk about you, and Jamie, and me. And she understands that Jamie is a major part of who you are, and who I love. So, she's not going to spread this around? She won't tell a soul. She loves the two of us too much to hurt us." "Good. That's a load off my mind. How does she really feel about Linda?" "She really isn't sure yet. Like she said, she's having a problem with the guy that looks more like a girl than she does thing. And I think that seeing those pictures of you kind of threw her for a loop. I have to admit, when Linda first told me, it was strange to me. But after getting to know her, I see her as a girl." "Me too. You know, I have the same problem with you." "What problem?" "You are coming really close to looking better than I do. And I have to work hard keeping up." "Oh, bull." "No bull, lover. Linda did such a good job that it's almost scary. And you are getting good at doing the look yourself. I guess I'd better quit while I'm ahead." "No way. I love having Jamie around. Even though most of the time we don't go anywhere. But it's been great fun teaching her things, shopping with her those few times, and she's great in bed." "Oh, is Jamie a better lover than I am?" Sometimes." "Really?" "Yeah." With that, he pushed her down on the couch and began seducing her. It wasn't long before. Afterwards, they were cuddled up on the living room floor, and he asked, "All right. Who's better, Jamie or Jason?" "Oh, I don't know. I think maybe Jamie." "Is that so?" And he started tickling her. "Stop. Stop. Please stop. Who's better?" "Jamie." "Stop. Stop. Please stop." "Okay. Okay. Jason. Jason's the better lover." He bent down, kissed her, and cuddled her close. Then she whispered, "What's really nice is that you're both Jason and Jamie. But Jamie is a softer, gentler, slower lover." Later that week, at dinner, Ronnie said, "Amy stopped by today. How's she doing?" "Great. She's over Ray. And I guess that she and Linda have seen a little more of each other. But she's still having a little problem with the guy as a girl thing. Not to mention sex with her. That's what she wanted to talk about. And I assumed that you were your usual helpful self." "Of course. We're having a girls' night out on Saturday." Late on that Saturday afternoon, the doorbell at the apartment rang, and Ronnie said, "Honey, could you get that?" "I'm busy." "Sure," Jason replied. He opened the door, and it was Amy and Linda. They were both dressed very nicely for their girls' night out. He said, "Hi guys. Come on in." "I think Ronnie's still getting ready." "Where's Jamie?" Linda asked. "Huh? Well, it's a girls' night out, and we figured that Jamie was going with us." Ronnie had walked up behind Jason and was grinning. "I don't think so," Jason replied. "Ronnie never said anything about Jamie going. And I just figured that the three of you wanted to go alone." "Wrong lever," Ronnie said. "Linda and I figured that it was time for Amy to meet Jamie face to face. And that she might like to see Linda work her magic transforming you into her." "Aw. Thanks for the warning." A little while later, Jason was sitting at the kitchen table in a black bra, black thong, black waist cincher, and nylons, while Linda worked on his makeup. Again with the eyebrows, and Linda chastised him with, "If you don't start taking better care of your eyebrows, I'm going to wax them off completely and draw them on." Everyone laughed, except Jason. It didn't take long for Linda to bring Jamie out. And Amy couldn't believe what she was seeing. Linda explained, "Jason is lucky. He is somewhat small-boned, and his facial structure reflects that. So, it's easy to change his look. About the only thing that would help would be higher cheekbones. But we can do that for the most part with makeup." When Linda had his wig in place and styled, Amy just shook her head. Jason then disappeared into the bedroom, and when he came back, he was wearing a black leather skirt, a white blouse with fancy lace that let his black bra show through, a pair of black, 3-inch sandals, and some nice jewelry. Looking at Amy, Jason said, "Well, do I pass? If I didn't know better." Amy said, "I told you he was passable, didn't I?" Linda said. "Yeah. Ronnie showed me pictures. You told me. But seeing it in person." And she just shook her head in disbelief. "My only problem," Linda said, "is that I feel very small next to these two. Girls shouldn't be allowed to be so tall." The girls didn't get back to the apartment until after 2 in the morning, and it was lucky that Jamie had decided to be the designated driver, or it would have been a cab ride home. Ronnie, Amy, and Linda were a little tipsy to say the least. Jamie made coffee for them. And then insisted that Amy and Linda spend the night. The couch was a hide-a-bed, so Amy and Linda ended up there. He had to help Ronnie undress, and the sexual tryst that usually happens after Jason was Jamie didn't happen that night. On Sunday, Jason was up before anyone else, and that was around noon. And he was sitting in the kitchen when he heard a noise. He looked up in time to see Amy, completely naked, wander from the living room to the bathroom. And, a few minutes later, wander back. About half an hour later, Ronnie wandered into the kitchen, looking like something the cat had drug in. She poured a cup of coffee, sat at the table, and Jason said, "You look terrible. I hope it's not as bad as I feel. Don't ever let me do that again." "I won't. You had better go get a couple of spare robes for our house guests." "Why?" "Amy gave me quite a show a little while ago, going to the bathroom completely naked." "She what?" "She walked to the bathroom completely naked." Laughing, Ronnie said, "Oh God. I forgot she sleeps in the nude." Even in bed with Linda? "Last night, I don't think she cared." Ronnie went, got a couple bathrobes, and put them in the living room. And, a little while later Linda, smelling the coffee, wandered into the kitchen. After pouring a cup and sitting down, she said, "Thanks for the robe." "No problem. Figured they'd come in handy this morning," Ronnie said. About 10 minutes later, Amy also found the kitchen and the coffee. Sitting down, she said, "What a rough night. I'll never do that again." With a big grin, Jason said, "Thanks for the show, Amy." "Show? What show?" "Oh, just you going to the bathroom this morning in your birthday suit." "I didn't." "Oh, yes you did. And, I love the tattoo on your right hip." Amy turned bright red, looked at Ronnie, and said, "I'm sorry." "Don't worry. He's seen it all before," Ronnie replied. "But, not me. I forgot there was a guy here. All I remember was the four of us girls last night." Linda was sitting there trying not to laugh, and Ronnie finally said, "Jason, will you please fix us some food?" The girls' night outs became somewhat of a regular thing, once or twice a month. Sometimes it was very dressy, and sometimes casual. Jason had become good at doing his own makeup and actually started keeping his eyebrows very neat. Linda only had to make minor corrections in the beginning. Jason also continued to try to talk like a girl, using a whispered style that sounded deep and sultry. But, it just wasn't right. Jamie was around at home, and Ronnie had become very comfortable with this part of Jason. One thing that Ronnie loved, with the going out and dressing at home, Jamie needed more clothes, and they could go shopping. But, something just wasn't right, and Ronnie couldn't put her finger on it. About a year after Ronnie introduced Amy and Linda, the four girls were out together. They had been to dinner at a restaurant that was in a local mall, and were planning on seeing a movie there. As they were walking in the mall, window shopping, they came to a store that sold formals and wedding gowns. Amy stopped and looked in the window at the wedding dresses. Ronnie whispered to Amy, "Wishful thinking?" With a big grin, Amy said, "No longer wishful thinking. Linda asked me to marry her. And, I said yes." "What? When were you going to tell me? Where's your ring?" "When?" Ronnie said. "Easy love. You're almost as excited as I was when you told me that you and Jason were getting married." Ronnie grabbed Amy and hugged her and kissed her on the cheek. Jamie had overheard the conversation. She first hugged Linda and then Amy. Linda said, "Let's go sit somewhere and talk." They found a table in the food court away from everyone and sat. Ronnie asked Amy, "Where's your ring?" "That's all for now. See you in the next video." For more interesting stories, please subscribe to our channel, and for exclusive content, please join us on Patreon. Link in the comment.